Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama. Welcome to day 3 of our Lego DC Comics Week themed podcast.
Today we're covering by far the wackiest movie to date, The Flash.
When Reverse Flash manipulates the Speed Force yet again to put the Flash into a time loop, it forces him to relive the same day over and over again and lose his super speed. Unable to get the Justice League's help, he goes to Dr. Fate and ends up on a magical quest to regain his speed. A magical quest?
Yeah, like, it's The Flash! And that's why I said wacky, because some of this stuff is just off the wall. In this version of Flash, it's still Barry Allen, but he's a goofball in the Lego universe and voiced by James Arnold Taylor, so of course they're going to make him wackier than usual.
Right.
And I can't help but think the time loop thing is reference to the live-action Flash series, where everyone gets tired of the Flash going back in time at the end of every season and destroying the timeline, having to fix it every season.
Yes, over and over. They need to come up with a new plot device. Although we still do watch this series.
Right.
But this one was definitely, it was fun. And as you said, it was quite confusing. But it was different. And maybe that's what makes it stick out as an unconventional Lego movie.
Right.
Because it just did not match with any previous incarnations, any previous plot devices, or it was just different, very different.
Right, and even from the plot, when he loses his speed, usually you use science or something to go back in the Speed Force. This time he had to go to, well, actually it was done by accident, called Dr. Fate, and he's like some, in this version he's like some love doctor of magic or something. It's like, what the heck's wrong with him today?
Well, in this universe, remember, the only science that exists is Batman.
And that was even weirder. And then when he goes to Dr. Fate, oh, tell me your problem. And then you gotta tell it in a musical number.
Yes.
I'm like, what? None of the Lego movies have had musical numbers.
Well, the Flash had a musical number.
Yeah, like, okay.
So maybe that's what, as you said, they were referencing that too.
Yeah, because it was like,
the only
okay,
thing he was missing
Fate.
was his Supergirl.
Right? Like, okay, if you say so.
So you had a lot of the same voice actors who were in some of the previous movies.
Right.
Making a nice return.
Right. You still had Troy Baker as Batman, Greg Griffin as Wonder Woman. Tom Kenny this time was Plastic Man and Penguin.
Carrie Payton was back as Cyborg.
Right. Nolan North was still Superman. And Jason Spezak was still the Joker. And James Arnold, of course, was still the Flash. And then they had some new additions for the new character. Like Kevin Michael Richardson was Dr. Fate.
And then Kate Micucci.
Yeah, she was Zatanna, as Webby or Jasmine.
Yes.
And Eric Bauza this time was the Atom and Jimmy Olsen, even though his role was a little shorter.
And Dwight Schultz.
Yeah, I thought they had a bigger star for this one as the Reverse Flash. And then, Phil Lamar was Firestorm, referencing the Legends of Tomorrow version.
Right. So they had a few more characters than in some of the other ones. And this was the latest one, correct?
Right, I think before the Aquaman one, yeah.
Right. So I'm not counting that one yet. So yes, this is the latest one.
Right. So, yeah, like I said, this one was really crazy. They had this sort of Groundhog Day plot. The whole point of it that he's going to end up learning anyways, like to slow down, think your way through, like stop going through everything so fast and rushing through stuff. Just because you have super speed doesn't mean you can rush through everything without a plan. And that was the whole lesson he's supposed to learn, which of course he does, but it takes a lot because this Flash, like I said, is a little off. Yeah, for someone so fast, he's kind of slow in this version. And each time he goes through the loop, he tries to finish the job faster. He finishes faster, but he still goes through the loop anyway. And they're like, will you just stop for 1 minute? And even then, when they kind of realize, when they end up going to super speed at some point, they realize, no wonder he's always in a rush. Everything is slow to him, but still they have an understanding when he needs to save the day, he can't rush through things, and they can't, criticize him for all this stuff because this is how it is for him because he's always fast.
Right. Now this plot device, the Groundhog Day, has become really overused.
It's a trope now
in Hollywood. It's done in animated series. It's done in theatrical movies. It's done in weekly television series. It's done in mini-series. It's done in comic books, novels. I mean, it's just something that if it's a show or a movie series that you know there's going to be more than one episode or movie, you know you're going to see this plot device. It's going to come up because it's just become something that's typical to be used.
Right.
The one thing I will say is that it is interesting to see how each director or producer or writer chooses to use the plot device.
Right.
You know, I have to mention, of course, Supernatural with the mystery spot.
Right.
And that, to me, is the most inventive way I've seen it used. And as a result of seeing that, other shows have copied from Supernatural in doing that same type of, you know, repeated, unlimited redos for the day, and in a character being killed off. And another way I've seen it be interestingly used also, The Flash, the first year, we were like, wow. The live action show, I should say.
Yes.
And the second year, we were like, whoa. Then by the third year, like, please stop using it. Please.
Okay.
And now they're not using it just every end of every season. Now it's being used within each season, like they used it with the daughter Nora. And it's like, stop.
Right.
And they said, okay, we'll put it in the Lego movie.
Right. And that, like I said, that's so much of a running joke now within that fandom, and everyone keeps telling Barry, stop going back in time. Stop going back in time. Stop going back in time. Don't freaking do it. You turned into a villain one time. Stop going back in time. And they say, you know what? I'm gonna go back in time to fix all this. And it's like, will you stop doing that? You're gonna destroy the planet if you do that.
So, and I think to date, the only movie that's theatrical that's being made about Groundhog Day is Groundhog Day, starring Bill Murray.
Right.
And so far, that's the only movie I've seen that actually did it well. It was successful. It had humor in it, and people actually liked it. Let's just hope Hollywood doesn't decide to do that again, because
the Groundhog Day too.
Yes, because it's overused now.
Yeah, there's
when
no
you
need.
saw it every now and then, it was like, oh, it was a welcome, refreshing change of pace. Now it's typical.
Right.
But they did find an interesting way to use it within this animated movie, which, as you said, it was at the expense of Flash's intelligence, but it did work. It did work.
Right. They also introduced like some more characters like Dr. Fate. They introduced the Atom, who had his own little mini plot being stuck in his miniature size, and everything was like danger, like he was stuck in the wild, for then he was just in the city and he was like in the sidewalk.
Now this was a missed opportunity. Why didn't they have Brandon Ruth voice the character? I mean, that's who he plays on Legends.
Right.
And they could have had the one who plays Jackson voice Firestorm.
Right.
To me, these are missed opportunities. You've got people who watch the CW shows that are familiar with the characters, and some of the people have been doing these characters for years now. Why not, when you do a Lego DC movie and you have these extra characters make an appearance, have the live action actors voice the animated shows? Why not do it?
Right. Well, to me, I think maybe it's cheaper to get the voice actors, which is why you always see them pop up everywhere. When you get stars from the movies or from the TV shows, like when the theatrical Lego movie did it, it was fine because they had millions of dollars in budget. Lego movie for the Lego Justice League direct-to-DVD doesn't have that budget, so it's easier to just get whether they voice them in the other animated series. That's actually a cheaper way, not out of all they want to do. It's just that this is an easier route than getting big time actors, and it will cost more to get them than to write the story, because sometimes we have seen that the expense of getting bigger actors hurts the story or the animation or something. It ends up being a little less than it should be because they've used a lot of the money to get the voice actors.
Well, this is where Warner Brothers needs to take a page out of Disney. Disney does this well. They have their actors and they're contracted. So they do multiple different appearances, animated, live action, television, so on and so forth. This is where it would be great to take a page from Disney. Have it in the contract. I mean, it doesn't take them that long to voice a character for a 45, 90-minute movie, especially when they're not in the entire movie.
Right.
So just having the contract, we make a Lego DC movie, you voice this character. They did it for Oliver Queen with Stephen Amell, remember?
Oh yeah, for
and
the video game.
It was perfect. They should do that across the board. Take a page from Disney. This they do well.
Yeah, that is true. They had the voice actors from the TV shows, and when they made these little Lego DC packs for the video game, when you get their stories, it was all the actors from the TV show, and they would kind of be a little goofy and break the fourth wall. Like he said, yes, I know, for all of you continuity police out there, why am I wearing I like to imagine myself wearing my Arrow outfit on the island before I came to Arrow, so there. I need to become something green and pointy and arrowy. I am the Arrow. It's like, what the hell? And it's still him.
It was perfect, and it worked. And another instance in which they did this is when they did the Vixen series, the animated series, when they had both, I'm just going to say the characters' names instead of the actors. They had both the live-action Barry Allen, Flash, and they had the live-action Arrow appear in it. And it was a short appearance. It was within the first 1 or 2 minutes of that particular episode. But it worked because this is whom you're familiar with, and it wouldn't have made sense to have other people voice them when you've established in the live-action universe this is whom they are. So again, Warner Brothers, take a cue from Disney and start using your live action actors for some of your Lego DC movies.
Yeah, and that would be a better option, because that would definitely give a shout out to people who watch the Arrowverse shows or the movies, and they're like, oh my gosh, they did a little shout out like they did with the other movie with Josh Keenan's Green Lantern. You can still do the shout outs just with bigger names as well.
Exactly.
And last thing I'm going to mention is that they also have the Speed Force, which is the part of the magical quest we mentioned.
Which is the first time this has actually been brought up in a DC Lego movie.
Right. Usually Speed Force is his other reality, and usually Barry's by himself or something. The Speed Force has a physical manifestation and it talks to him, and this one is more like an Indiana Jones style quest where you have to go through different trials to get through each puzzle. And one he had to slow down, one he had to take his time, find a new direction, and it was always where he can use he doesn't need the speed, but it's sort of like, I guess they said that he was chosen for the speed in this one. So
now, yes, they did limit his intelligence, but I think it was really, really cool how they had the Flash in this version use Speed Force bricks to create a vehicle.
Yeah, Speed Force vehicle. He's Speed Force Racer. So yeah, and he's still a scientist. He's just goofy in here. That's all.
Well, think about it too. In the Justice League animated versions, he was brilliant, but he also was kind of goofy, off-kilter, nerdy. And you really and I think for the animated series, that is my favorite version of the Barry Allen Flash, is the Justice League. And what was the second? Justice League and Justice League
Unlimited?
Yes. Yeah. That's my favorite version of the animated Barry Allen Flash. Yeah.
So
maybe that's what they were going for.
And all in all, it's still great movie, great addition to the Lego DC franchise.
Very fun.
Always fun. They have more effort than some live action movies, and we enjoy seeing these voice actors just have fun, and these characters, they still get together, they're still superheroes, but they still act a little bit like kids and have fun, except for Batman, because he's Batman. And these are just some, once again, really fun movies. If you haven't seen Lego The Flash, we definitely recommend it.
And if you have, make sure you tell us in the comments below who was your favorite character, and how does it compare to you versus other Lego DC movies that we know you've seen. Let us know what you think in the comments below. And watch it more than once, because we have.
Yes, and just don't do it on the same day, or else you're going to be in the same boat as Flash.
Yes.
And you can also purchase these DVDs on Amazon as well.
That's right.
So, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Oscar Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a fantastic day.
Peace.
And reporters sitting flashing lights, trying to walk around, man, who the hell are you? What you wanna do? Well, man, it's on you. Man, it's on you. With her in my dreams, she was my queen. A castle in the mountaintops, rivers and streams. Plucking sunlight from the sky in my pocket, give it to